Action RPGs have delivered some of the most memorable experiences in gaming, combining fast-paced combat, character progression, and immersive worlds. But ranking the greatest of all time can easily become a matter of personal taste. So for this list, I wanted to approach things a bit differently. This top 20 action RPGs of all time is based on a weighted combination of Metacritic critic scores, user scores, and review volume. The idea is simple. A high score matters, but maintaining that score across a large number of reviews says even more about the game's consistency, popularity, and long-term reception. To keep the category clear, this list focuses strictly on pure action RPGs. That means no Souls-likes, no isometric titles like Diablo, and no shooter RPGs such as Fallout, since those belong to different subgenres that deserve their own rankings. With that in mind, these are the action RPGs that have left the strongest mark on the genre. The Witcher 2: Assassins of Kings is one of those action RPGs that really helped define what mature storytelling in the genre could look like. The combat is far more tactical than many RPGs of its time, requiring players to combine swordplay, magic signs, potions, and careful preparation before major encounters. But what truly sets the game apart is its narrative structure. The story branches in meaningful ways, with entire locations and quest lines changing depending on your choices, something that was surprisingly ambitious when it released. It's also where CD Projekt Red began refining the cinematic storytelling style that would later become a hallmark of the series. Horizon Forbidden West builds upon the foundations of its predecessor with a much more ambitious world and a deeper approach to its action RPG systems. Combat remains the core of the experience, combining precise ranged mechanics, tactical use of traps and tools, and a wide variety of machines that each require different strategies to defeat. At the same time, the game expands its progression systems, equipment customization, and exploration in meaningful ways. What stands out most, though, is how confidently it develops Aloy's journey while presenting one of the most visually impressive open worlds in the genre, making exploration feel constantly rewarding. Monster Hunter Rise takes the core hunting formula of the series and pushes it toward a faster, more dynamic style of action RPG gameplay. The introduction of the wirebuck system fundamentally changes movement and combat, allowing players to reposition quickly, launch aerial attacks, and create new tactical opportunities during hunts. At the same time, the depth of the weapon systems remains one of the game's greatest strengths, with each class offering a completely different playstyle to master. Combined with its streamlined structure and strong cooperative focus, Monster Hunter Rise manages to stay accessible while still delivering the strategic depth the series is known for. Jade Empire stands out as one of the more unique action RPGs of its generation, largely because of its setting and combat philosophy. Instead of the traditional Western fantasy formula, the game draws heavily from Chinese mythology and martial arts traditions, which gives the entire experience a very distinct identity. Combat revolves around switching between different fighting styles in real time, blending martial arts techniques, weapons, and mystical abilities. At the same time, BioWare's narrative design plays a central role, with moral choices and character interactions shaping how the story unfolds. It's a game that prioritizes atmosphere and storytelling while still delivering satisfying action-driven gameplay. Dark Cloud 2, also known as Dark Chronicle, remains one of the most creative action RPGs of its era, thanks to how confidently it blends multiple gameplay systems into a single experience. At its core, the game offers real-time dungeon combat, where players switch between characters, manage weapon progression, and adapt to enemy weaknesses. But what really makes it stand out is the Georama system, which allows players to rebuild towns piece by piece, shaping their layout and development as the story progresses. Combined with its colorful art style, inventive mechanics like photography-based invention, and a charming narrative, Dark Cloud 2 delivers a gameplay loop that constantly rewards experimentation and exploration, making it a truly distinctive entry in the action RPG genre. Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition expands the action RPG formula into an enormous open-world experience unlike most others in the genre. Combat is fast-paced and highly strategic, combining real-time attacks, party coordination, and positioning to take down massive enemies. Beyond the battles, exploration plays a huge role. The game encourages you to traverse a vast alien landscape, discovering hidden quests, collectibles, and lore that reward curiosity. The Definitive Edition refines the original's systems and visuals, making the world feel even more alive, and it's a prime example of how ambition and scale can elevate an action RPG without sacrificing depth or accessibility. Dragon Age Origins is often remembered for its rich storytelling, but its action RPG mechanics are just as compelling. Combat blends real-time action with tactical pause, letting players plan strategies, control multiple party members, and adapt to challenging encounters. Character progression is deep, with diverse classes, specializations, and moral choices that shape both the story and relationships within the party. While the world of Ferelden is vast and immersive, it's the combination of meaningful decisions, tactical gameplay, and a dark, mature narrative that truly sets Dragon Age Origins apart in the action RPG landscape. Final Fantasy XVI marks a bold return to a more action-focused approach for the series, blending real-time combat with cinematic presentation. Players control Clive Rossfield in fast-paced battles that emphasize timing, combos, and strategic use of icons, massive summoned beings that dramatically shift the tide of fights. Beyond combat, the game delivers a mature, politically charged narrative, weaving personal drama with large-scale conflicts that give the world real weight. What stands out most is how seamlessly the story and action are integrated, creating an experience that feels both epic and immediate, while redefining what a modern action RPG can achieve. Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate is widely regarded as one of the most refined entries in the series, expanding the hunting formula with verticality and more dynamic combat. The introduction of climbing and aerial maneuvers adds a new layer of strategy, allowing hunters to engage monsters from multiple angles and heightening the sense of scale in each encounter. Weapon variety remains deep and satisfying, with each type offering unique combos and playstyles to master. Combined with its challenging quests, cooperative multiplayer focus, and intricate monster behaviors, Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate delivers a gameplay loop that's as rewarding as it is intense, cementing its place as a fan-favorite action RPG. Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate reimagines a classic RPG with a modern, action-oriented combat system that blends real-time attacks with tactical pauses for ability management. The game lets players control multiple characters, seamlessly switching between them to exploit enemy weaknesses and coordinate strategies, all while maintaining a cinematic presentation. Beyond combat, it honors the original's story and characters, expanding their depth and adding emotional nuance that resonates even for longtime fans. With polished visuals, refined mechanics, and a careful balance between nostalgia and innovation, Integrate shows how a beloved RPG can be reinvented for a new generation without losing its soul. Tales of Symphonia is a classic action RPG that combines fast-paced, combo-driven combat with an engaging narrative and memorable characters. The linear motion battle system allows players to move freely during fights, chaining attacks, spells, and special abilities in real time, which keeps every encounter dynamic and exciting. Beyond combat, the story balances personal character arcs with broader themes of world-building, morality, and conflict, making choices feel impactful without overwhelming the gameplay. It's a game that perfectly captures the charm and energy of the Tales series while delivering a satisfying blend of action, strategy, and storytelling. Horizon Zero Dawn introduced a refreshing blend of open-world exploration and action RPG combat, placing players in a beautifully realized post-apocalyptic world inhabited by robotic creatures. Combat is strategic, emphasizing the use of bows, traps, and elemental weaknesses to take down a wide variety of machines, while Aloy's abilities and gear progression give players meaningful options to tackle challenges. Beyond the mechanics, the story and world building are standout features, with a narrative that gradually uncovers the history of a fallen civilization while keeping exploration rewarding. It's a game that balances spectacle, depth, and accessibility, making it a modern action RPG classic. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 takes the series' signature blend of open-world exploration and action-oriented combat to new heights. Battles combine real-time attacks, positioning, and team coordination, while its deep class and ability systems give players freedom to experiment and create unique strategies. The game's world is vast and interconnected, filled with secrets, side quests, and lore that reward curiosity, making exploration just as compelling as combat. On top of that, the story weaves personal character arcs with broader political and existential themes, giving the game both emotional weight and the kind of scale that defines truly memorable action RPGs. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 builds on its predecessor's commitment to immersive, historically grounded action RPG design with even greater ambition and scale. Released in early 2025, the game places you once again in the turbulent world of 15th century Bohemia, where realistic first-person melee combat, meticulous weapon mechanics, and emergent encounters emphasize skill and preparation over spectacle. The open world feels lived in, blending political intrigue, moral choice, and organic exploration in a way few RPGs attempt, and the sequel refines many of the systems that made the original stand out. It's a bold follow-up that respects its roots while pushing deeper into narrative complexity and player agency. Kingdom Hearts 2 is a standout action RPG that combines fast-paced, combo-driven combat with a deeply imaginative story. The game builds on the original systems, letting players seamlessly chain attacks, magic, and special abilities while switching between party members to adapt to each encounter. Beyond combat, it shines in world design, weaving together Disney-inspired environments with a complex narrative that explores friendship, identity, and the nature of light and darkness. Its ability to balance engaging mechanics, emotional storytelling, and memorable set pieces has made it a beloved classic that still resonates with fans of the genre today. Astral Chain is a unique action RPG that combines high-speed combat with inventive dual-character mechanics. Players control a police officer and their bound legion simultaneously, using the two in tandem to chain attacks, control enemies, and solve tactical combat puzzles. The combat system rewards precision and creativity, blending melee, ranged, and legion-based abilities into fluid combos. Beyond gameplay, the game offers a stylish, futuristic world with engaging narrative threads and strong character interactions, making it a standout for players seeking both mechanical depth and story-driven action in a single package. Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition is a cornerstone of action RPG design, blending expansive open-world exploration with real-time combat that emphasizes positioning, timing, and party coordination. Players engage in battles that reward strategic thinking, using a variety of abilities and classes to exploit enemy weaknesses. Beyond the mechanics, the game's world is vast and immersive, filled with lore, side quests, and environmental storytelling that encourages exploration at every turn. The definitive edition refines the original with improved visuals, performance, and quality of life features, making it one of the most accessible and enduring experiences in the genre. NieR Automata stands out as one of the most distinctive action RPGs of the modern era, blending fast, fluid combat with a narrative that constantly challenges player expectations. Developed with Platinum Games' signature combat design, battles are responsive and stylish, combining melee attacks, ranged pot abilities, and seamless movement across different gameplay perspectives. But what truly elevates the experience is its storytelling. The game explores themes of consciousness, identity, and purpose through multiple playthroughs that gradually reveal deeper layers of the narrative. Set in a hauntingly beautiful post-apocalyptic world, NieR Automata manages to balance intense action with philosophical depth, creating an experience that feels both emotionally powerful and mechanically satisfying. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth continues the remake series with a sprawling, open-world action RPG that elevates both combat and exploration. Building on the hybrid real-time system of Remake, players can seamlessly switch between party members, chaining attacks, abilities, and summons in fast-paced yet strategic battles. Beyond combat, the game delivers a cinematic narrative with richly developed characters and emotional stakes, while the expansive world is filled with hidden secrets, side quests, and immersive environments that reward curiosity. It's a modern reimagining that honors the legacy of the original while pushing the action RPG formula into bold new territory. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt is widely regarded as a pinnacle of action RPG design, and for good reason. Its combat is fluid and responsive, blending swords, magic signs, alchemy, and tactical preparation in a system that rewards both skill and strategy. But what truly elevates it is the depth of its world and storytelling. The continent feels alive, populated with richly detailed cities, villages, and wilderness, each with stories, side quests, and moral dilemmas that often carry real consequences. Geralt's journey is equally compelling, weaving personal stakes with epic political intrigue and supernatural threats. Every quest, from major storylines to seemingly minor encounters, is crafted with care, making exploration constantly rewarding. Its combination of meaningful choice, narrative sophistication, and gameplay depth has set a standard that few action RPGs have matched, and it's why The Witcher 3 deserves its place at the top of this list. And those are the 20 greatest action RPGs of all time, ranked through a combination of critic scores, user reception, and overall review volume to highlight not just quality, but also long-term impact and consistency. Action RPGs continue to evolve, constantly redefining how combat, progression, and storytelling can come together in a single experience. Some of these games pushed the genre forward with innovation, others perfected existing formulas, but all of them left a clear mark on the history of the genre. Of course, rankings like this always spark discussion, so I'm curious to hear your thoughts. Which action RPG do you think deserved a spot on this list? And is there one you believe should have ranked even higher? If you enjoyed the video, consider liking and subscribing. And stay tuned because in the next videos, we'll explore other RPG subgenres, including shooter RPGs and Souls-likes. Thanks for watching.